Hey there, this is Dan Perry, head instructor at purplegolf.com, and today we're going to take a look at the swing of Robert Rock. In my opinion, one of the best swings in the world at the moment, and one that everyone can learn from. So this is a guy who's a fantastic ball striker, one of the best ball strikers in the world. So if you haven't seen much of Robert up until now, I suggest you get on YouTube and check out his action, because it's a great one. Now, I'm told that Robert is pretty much self-taught and has built his swing by looking at the swings of Sam Snead and Ben Hogan, and for sure there's a lot of Hogan and Snead in his action, which we're going to see right now. So just looking at Robert at address here, there's a couple of really nice things that you can learn from his address position here. The first of those is that he's got a nice rounded look to his shoulders here at the top of his spine, and his chin is down, his eyes focus directly into the ball there. Really good tip that for you guys at home, because what that does is it gets the weight nicely through the balls of the feet there, makes him very grounded at address, and it really promotes him turning in a centered manner rather than backing away from the golf ball or standing up in the backswing. So getting that rounded look to your shoulders and the chin down and the eyes directly into the ball is a real nice tip for you guys at home there. He's also got his head nicely forward at address, nicely centered, and his hips nicely forward as well. So he's very much on top of the golf ball at the start of his swing, and that's something you'll see throughout Robert's swing. He's on top of the ball. Now if we take him through his backswing here, and we'll take him up to the top of his swing, what you're going to see is the way that he makes a very centered turn. Quite a steep shoulder plane in his golf swing here, Robert, and he gets to an absolutely fantastic position at the top here. Really picture perfect. From a face on here, you can see how centered his head has remained in the backswing, and how much his right hip there has turned behind him. You know, from its starting position here, that hip has moved sort of 3 inches towards the target. Left hip has responded, and that is because he's turning around his spine. He's staying very centered. His head there again is centered, and if you look at the line of his back here, that's almost a straight line there, whereas with a lot of players you'd see that angled very much away from the target. Robert is not the kind of guy that shifts to the right. He stays on top of the ball throughout the swing, which is very much what Hogan and certainly Snead did in their golf swings. So he's turning around a centered axis, turning around his spine. From down the line here, you can see the head has remained in position there, in its starting position. Again, evidence that he's turned around his spine. The left arm plane very shallow, matching up to the shoulder plane, which is great. Gets the arms nicely round the body there in a shallow position. And again, you can see the amount of hip turn that Robert has employed there, and the right leg kind of straightening in the backswing. Again, something which is traditional and old-fashioned almost in the swing, but I think something which is coming back into fashion as more and more players realise that you need to use the ground and turn into the ground to create leverage in the swing. Now what Robert does really nicely is he's got this steep plane to his shoulders here, and you can see, if I draw a line on his shoulder plane here, just how steep that angle is, almost matching up to the plane of the club shaft at address there. And that again really allows him to focus into the ball at the top of the swing and puts lots of pressure through his feet into the ground, which is how Robert's going to leverage the club into the ball in the downswing. So that steep shoulder turn is quite an important point actually, because it allows Robert really to stay centered and on top of the ball. And let's see now in the downswing how that helps him. Now this start down is an absolute classic. From face on here, what you're going to see is the way the left knee and the left hip pull away from the right here. Very reminiscent of Snead, the way he gets that separation between the knees there. The right hip and the right knee almost holding their position, while the left knee and the left shoulder separate away. And the feeling for Robert here almost is that the left shoulder is moving down towards the ground and towards the target, as the right hip and the right heel hold their position. And you can see from the down the line angle just how much pressure there is through the ground. Robert's feet very stable there as he starts down. No sense here that that right heel is going to come off the ground anytime soon. I'll just synchronise these clips a little bit better for us here. And you see again just how stable the footwork is there of Robert, and that is a result of that good steep turn he's made in the backswing here. As he changes direction, he's able to maintain that spine angle there, the head staying forward and the hips staying back, and the right heel staying very much down into the ground, and that allows him really to apply a lot of pressure into the ball there. You can see lovely width there in the golf swing, but also lots of forward shift. So you can see his hips there very forward, and the head has moved forward again as well, but the left shoulder staying quite low. So he's not backing out with the upper body, he's actually leveraging down into the ball to really apply lots of compression there into the ball impact. And you can see there at impact, the right hip there about 8 inches forward of where it began, the left hip about 5 or 6 inches forward, the left arm there and the club shaft forming that classic straight line, which proves the amount of compression that Robert's got there in his swing. And through impact here you can see how passive the hand action is there. This is just a rotation through impact now of the body. Right heel still very much on the ground there and just rotating, or the right foot rolling through the shot there towards the target. Hands very passive. This is just a superb swing. This is a great ball striker, Robert. Great, loads of speed, loads of power, and I really would urge everyone at home to study this action and to really copy the things that Robert does so well. He starts off very much on top of the ball, and he stays on top of the ball in the backswing through that steep turn, putting loads of pressure through the ground, through his feet, through that sort of steep turn, staying on top of the ball. And that allows him in the downswing to separate that left side away from the right side, as we've seen there, the way the left knee and the left shoulder pull forward down towards the ground as the right foot stays planted. And from there he just rotates through the shot very simply and very powerfully. So fantastic swing, loads that you can learn from this golf swing, and I really urge everyone to get out there and check out Robert's swing on YouTube. As always, if anyone wants any help with their own swing, please get in touch with us at the Purple Golf Academy. We'd love to help you, and we've got some really great ideas for helping you guys at home, so come and join us for a lesson soon.